Ever wondered how our ancestors survived in a world without smartphones, supermarkets, or safety nets? From outsmarting predators to mastering fire, early humans used incredible innovation and determination to overcome seemingly impossible challenges. Let's explore their remarkable survival story. Our ancestors' secret weapon wasn't sharp claws or powerful muscles. It was their remarkable brain. Picture a group of early humans facing a dangerous predator. While other animals relied on fight or flight, our ancestors could think ahead, plan, and come up with creative solutions. This big, energy-hungry brain gave us amazing abilities. We could remember where to find food, figure out which plants were safe to eat, and even predict animal migration patterns. But here's the really cool part. Early humans didn't just solve problems on their own. They shared their knowledge with others, teaching the next generation everything they learned. This collective intelligence meant that each new generation could build on previous discoveries, making humans increasingly better at surviving and thriving in their environment. Think of early human communities like the world's first social networks. But instead of sharing memes, they shared survival strategies. These tight-knit groups were absolutely crucial for human survival. When someone discovered a new food source or spotted a predator, that information spread quickly through the group. Working together, our ancestors could take down larger prey, protect their young, and cover more ground while gathering food. They also developed something revolutionary, the ability to understand and care about each other's feelings. This emotional connection or empathy meant they would help sick or injured group members, sharing food and providing protection. Archaeological evidence shows that even very early humans cared for their elderly and injured, something rarely seen in other species. This combination of practical teamwork and emotional bonds gave our ancestors a massive survival advantage. Now let's talk about one of the most incredible transformations in human history, our journey from the trees to the savanna. When climate change turned many forests into grasslands, our ancestors faced a massive challenge. Instead of giving up, they turned this potential disaster into an opportunity. Standing upright became their new superpower. It helped them see over tall grass to spot both predators and prey, and freed up their hands for carrying tools and food. But the real game changer was their ability to walk and run long distances. While other animals would overheat during long chases, humans developed something special. We could sweat to cool down. This meant our ancestors could literally chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion, a technique called persistence hunting. They also became incredibly resourceful at finding food in their new environment, learning to dig for roots and tubers when other food was scarce. Now, let's explore two incredible breakthroughs that truly set humans apart: tools and fire. Imagine being the first person to realize you could use a rock to crack open nuts or sharpen a stick to defend yourself. Early humans discovered they could transform ordinary objects into powerful tools that made survival much easier. But the real game changer? Fire. Picture that magical moment when someone figured out how to not just maintain, but actually create fire. This discovery revolutionized human life in amazing ways. Fire provided warmth in cold climates, kept dangerous animals away, and, here's the fascinating part, allowed our ancestors to cook food. Cooking made food easier to digest and killed harmful bacteria, giving humans access to more nutrients from their food. This combination of tools and fire gave our species an incredible advantage, helping shape us into the dominant species we are today. Let's dig into the fascinating menu of our ancient ancestors. You might be surprised by their sophisticated diet. While we often picture early humans as simple meat eaters, they were actually quite creative with their food choices. They discovered that certain foods packed an incredible nutritional punch. Nuts and seeds were like nature's multivitamins, providing essential fats and proteins. Bone marrow, which they cleverly extracted from animal bones, was basically prehistoric brain food, rich in nutrients that may have helped our brains grow larger. They also ate a rainbow of plants, each with its own survival benefit. Tubers and roots were like underground treasure chests of energy, while berries and fruits provided quick energy and vital nutrients. What's really interesting is how they learned to combine these foods, creating a diet that was way more advanced than we once thought. When the sun set in prehistoric times, our ancestors faced their greatest fears in the darkness. Imagine trying to sleep knowing that massive cave bears, saber-toothed cats, and giant hyenas were prowling nearby. But our clever ancestors developed amazing strategies to survive the night. They learned to use cave openings that were easily defendable, and often positioned themselves on higher ground where predators couldn't easily reach. Fire became their ultimate nighttime guardian. Not only did it keep dangerous animals at bay, but it also extended their day, allowing them to socialize, make tools, and strengthen community bonds after dark. They even developed sophisticated warning systems, using everything from strategic lookout points to early alarm signals. Perhaps most impressively, they figured out that sleeping in shifts meant someone was always alert and watching for danger. Let's embark on an incredible journey that changed the human story forever, the epic tale of how our ancestors spread across the globe. Picture small groups of early humans armed with nothing but their wits and basic tools, stepping into unknown territories. These brave explorers followed coastlines, crossed ice bridges, and navigated vast plains, adapting to every climate they encountered. What's fascinating is how they managed to survive in such different environments, from the freezing Arctic to scorching deserts. They developed specialized tools for each region, created warm clothing from animal furs, and learned which local plants were safe to eat. Recent DNA evidence tells us this wasn't just a simple march out of Africa. It was a complex web of journeys, with different groups meeting, mixing, and sharing their survival knowledge along the way. Let's dive into one of humanity's greatest survival challenges, facing extreme climate change. Imagine waking up to find your world transforming into an ice-covered landscape. Our ancestors faced exactly this during the Ice Ages, when temperatures plummeted and glaciers covered vast regions. But they didn't just survive, they thrived. They developed ingenious ways to stay warm, like creating the world's first layered clothing from animal furs and finding shelter in caves that maintained steady temperatures. They became masters at predicting weather patterns by observing animal behavior and cloud formations. Perhaps most impressively, they learned to store food for harsh winters, smoking meat and drying berries to create prehistoric preserves. These weather warriors even turned the ice to their advantage, using frozen rivers as travel highways and hunting grounds. Let's explore one of humanity's most incredible achievements, the development of language. Imagine the first time our ancestors went beyond simple grunts and gestures to share complex ideas. This revolutionary leap started with basic sounds and hand signals, but gradually evolved into sophisticated communication systems. Early humans needed to warn each other about dangers, coordinate hunting strategies, and pass down survival knowledge. Think about trying to explain where to find the best berries or how to make a tool without words. Over time, our ancestors' brains and vocal cords adapted, allowing them to make more varied sounds. This ability to communicate detailed information gave humans a massive advantage, enabling them to work together more effectively and build increasingly complex societies. Think our ancestors just hoped for the best when they got sick. Think again. Early humans were surprisingly skilled healers who developed some clever medical tricks. They discovered that certain plants could ease pain or reduce fever, knowledge they gained through careful observation and probably some risky trial and error. Archaeological evidence shows they even performed basic surgeries and set broken bones. They learned to use honey as an antibacterial treatment, certain types of mold to fight infections, yes, kind of like prehistoric penicillin, and spider webs to help stop bleeding. What's really fascinating is how they passed this medical knowledge down through generations, creating the foundation for traditional medicine that some cultures still use today. They also understood the healing power of rest and care. Fossil evidence shows groups looking after their sick and injured members until they recovered. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through human survival. From brainpower to fire mastery, our ancestors' story is truly remarkable. If you enjoyed learning about our past, hit like, subscribe, and share to help others discover these fascinating tales.